Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, student. Welcome to Introduction to Business class. Today we would like to discuss about managers and managements. So who are managers and where do they work? Before I explain more about that, I try to define what is organization. Organization is a deliberate arrangement of people brought together to accomplish some specific approach. For example, here is university or football teams. There are some common characteristics of organizations, such as they have a distinct purpose expressed in a goal or a set of goals. There are also people working together to achieve the organization goal through a set of decision and working activities. And also organizations have to deliberate a systematic structure that define and limit the behavior of their members. Now here you see the three characteristics of organization. First, have goals. There is a people and there is a structures. What are and how are managers have different from non-managerial employees? Non-managerial employees is a people or are a people who work directly on a job or a task and have no responsibility for overseeing the work of others. For example, associate or team members. Manager, see, there is two definition of manager. First, manager is or are individual in organization who direct and oversee the activities of others. And the second one, manager do work directly on tasks such as servicing some customers. You see here the chart of management level. There is top managers and middle manager, first line manager, and non-managerial employees. So now let's define what is the management level. First is top level manager or top level management. Top manager has a responsibility for making decisions about the direction of organization and establishing policies and philosophies that affect all organizational members, such as president of the organization, CAO, or vice president. Then, middle managers or middle management. Middle managers has a responsibility to manage the activities of other managers and non-managerial employees and translating the goal set by the top managers to specific details that lower managers can understand. For example, district managers and division managers. Then, first line manager. So what is first line manager? First line manager has a responsibility for directing the day-to-day activities of non-managerial employees, and for example here is supervisor or team leaders. So what is management? Management can be defined as the process of getting things done effectively and efficiently with and through people. Management also is a process that refers to set of ongoing and interrelated activities. Now, what is efficiency? Efficiency means doing things right. It means that getting the most output from the least amount of input. It means that minimizing the cost. Now, what is effectiveness? Effectiveness means doing those tasks that help the organization to reach its goal.
Efficiency can be defined as a concern with the means of getting things done, while effectiveness is concerned with the end of the process. Manager do. Management researchers have developed three approaches to describe what managers do. Manager do first is a function, second is a role, and the third is a skill. Now let's discuss about four management function according to Henri Fayol. Actually, there is a lot of definition about management function. Now, I would like to discuss according to Henri Fayol. So, for management function according to Henri Fayol is planning. Planning means defining the organizational purpose and ways to achieve. For example here, defining goals, developing plans and sub-plan to coordinate the activities and establishing the strategy. The second management function is organizing. It means that to arrange and structuring work to accomplish organizational goals. For example, who reports to whom, and defining work on employees. The third one is leading. Leading mean here is to directing the work activities of others. For example, here is resolving conflicts, motivating employees, choosing the most effective channel to communicate. The last management function according to Henri Fayol is controlling. Controlling means that monitoring, comparing, and correcting work performance. For example, here is doing evaluation. Now you see here the graph about four management function. This function is to achieve the organizational state of purpose. So what roles do managers play? Henri Misberg here said that manager's job can be described by 10 performance by manager in three general categories. First category is interpersonal roles. It means that ones that involve subordinate and a person outside the organization, and also other duties that are ceremonial and symbolic in nature. For example, here they give it figurehead, leader, and liaison officer. Then the second category is informational roles. It means that it is collecting, receiving, and analyzing information. So, for example, here is a monitoring person, disseminator person or disseminator, and spokesperson. And the third category for roles of the manager is decisional roles. It means that to make a decision and to look into the choice. For example, entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resources allocator, negotiator. What skill do managers need? Or what skill do managers have or must to have? Here, Robert Katz and other researchers describe four critical skills in managing or manager. First skill is a conceptual skill. It means the manager have to use to analyze and diagnose complex situation to help the manager to see how things fit together and facilitate making good decisions. The second skill is interpersonal skill. It means that manager working well with other people both individual and group. So the manager must have a good skill to communicate, to motivate, to mentoring or to mentor and to delegate. The third one is technical skill. So based on specialized knowledge, the manager require for work, even its lower management or middle management, to know of the job they are performing. And for the top management or top manager, they have to know about the industry and a general understanding of the organization process and products. The fourth one is political skill. This skill have to use to build a power base and establish the connection for the manager. So there is a question here. Is the manager's job is a universal thing? Actually, the answer is first we have to define. All manager is have a job to plan, to organize, to lead, and to control. But how they do they and how much they do what their job, it can be vary according to several dimensions. So here we divide the manager's job according to their dimension. First dimension is level in the organization. Let's see here is top level manager do more planning, less directing, overseas of other than supervisors. And all managers have to or must make decision planning. However, the amount of their planning they have to delegate to each of them is different between top level managers, middle managers, and first line manager. Therefore, the difference is not on the activity or function itself, but on the degree, emphasis, and time that been given to each activities. Now you see here the management activities by organizational level. You see here, first line manager, this is according to T.A. Mahoney and et al. So, the first here is top manager. Top manager do more on organizing, about 36% organizing, then planning, then leading. The last one, the smallest number, is controlling. Middle managers do more on leading, then organizing, then planning, then controlling. However, the first line manager do more than half of their activities is on leading, about 51%. Then 24% of first line managers activity is to organizing or to organize, planning, and the last one is controlling. And the second dimension about manager's job is the difference between profit and non-profit. Actually, managers' jobs are the same in both profit and non-profit organizations. All of them is to make decisions, to set goals, and to motivate their employees. The only difference is in the performance measurement. Profit organizations measure their performance by the amount of profit they achieve. There are no specific measurements to measure the success of non-profit organization. The financial side is still important on the non-profit. However, there is no specific measurement for non-profit organization to make measurement on manager's job. The dimension is the size of the organization. Small businesses have only fewer than 500 employees, and which doesn't often engage in any new innovative practice. Managers in this organization do the role as spokesperson and spend most of their time in doing outwardly directing action. For example, meeting with the customer. However, large business is the contrast of the small business organization. Usually, large business have more than 500 employees. So, the manager is more engaged to any new innovative practice. So manager in large business organization is not only a person or as a spokesperson or to spend money doing or redirected action. Then the dimension about geographic location or national border. It is not a good idea to make the manager and management concept universal because each country greatly differ in economics, political, social, and cultural environment. It means that managers in Indonesia have very big differences with manager in Singapore, for example. So it means it is not a good idea to make the manager and management concept as a universal concept, but there is some item that will influence the manager's job for each country or for each geography. Now you see here the graph about managerial roles in small and large business. So you see here, role by manager in small firm or small business, the highest is as a spokesperson. Then the moderate, their role is as entrepreneur, figurehead, and leader. And the lower roles is disseminator. However, in the manager roles in a large firm or in a large business, the highest role is as a resource allocator. Then the moderate role for manager in a large business is a license officer, monitoring officer, disturbance handler, negotiator. And the lowest role for the manager in a large business organization is as entrepreneur. Now let's discuss is what are factors are for reshaping and redefining management in an organization. So welcome to the new world of management. Nowadays, manager must deal with first is changing workplace. Second is ethical and trust issue. The third one recently happened in the world is about global economic uncertainty such as COVID-19, changing technologies. There are also two areas of critical importance of manager. First is to deliver a high quality customer service, and second one is encouraging innovative effort. So why is innovation so important to the manager's job? You know that nothing is more risky than not innovating. All the organizations have followed the innovation. For example, the innovation of technology. Nowadays, the industry is already 4.0 and the society is already on 5.0. So the manager have to catch the technology to expand their organization. So innovation is doing things differently by taking risks. So technology is very risky development, but you have to follow technologies. Innovation is not just important for high technology companies, but essential in all type of organization. Nowadays we are in the COVID-19 era. all of the organization have to follow the innovation of the technologies. So it is not for only the high technologies companies or big or large business, school, kindergarten have follow the technology to catch the development and to prevent the COVID-19.